Hello, welcome back to BlenderSushi Live Noding. Today it's gonna be another talk or maybe more like a show and tell about OSC. OSC is the open sound controller. It's a one way we could make one program talk to another program, perhaps in the same computer or in a different computer. Um, I have already actually written a little bit about it uh, previously, and where when I was exploring animation nodes and then spare chalk, and then I also I come back to my old articles about OSC and how we can really make um, the program talk to another program, like making the data actually works to with Blender. I even touched a little bit um, on Blender game engine back then, and then I feel that it should be a lot easier actually, but I'm surprised that it's not quite there yet unless you're a programmer. Some it requires you to do scripting and just it's not too convenient for me, even though Blender game engine is probably the right tool for this kind of stuff, especially these days when we have like a VR and AR. VR stands for virtual reality, as we know, and then AR or mixed reality, so augmented reality, where we have like a normal human visions with a layered additional image. Um, yeah, I wish I have access to all that, like with a HTC VR glass or maybe PlayStation One. I don't know, maybe Oculus One. I haven't got access to all of those. However, in my in my own using my own computer for the last few years, I've been kind of trying to understand how we can do it using just open source program, so that any we can just jump to any computer and then start maybe using the sensor of the computer. Ideally, I think ideally we our computers should be able to sense a lot of things like temperature, maybe we almost all computers, a good laptop has a webcam built in. Actually, like a smartphone these days, like the iPhone or others, Android phones, or maybe Microsoft one, they all have camera and they all have a gyroscope and other sensors, like you can tilt it and it will understand the motion sensor, all those kind of stuff that you can supposedly you can use to pass on real-time data into a program like Blender. Yeah, gonna be really Blender centric today, but I also gonna show you other programs. So if you're curious, you can read a little bit of articles. I decided to write it down sometimes because with live noding video, some information might not be too clear, and then if I write it down, it's easier for you to read it. It's a lot faster as well. So basically, so far, um, the script that make it possible is the one from Zephy or Dialga. This one right here, Blender 3D OSC panel. I found it really simple and easy to use, and it opens up a lot of possibilities. I don't know, but I don't know if any of you doing this have time or to do this kind of experimentation, but I just want to share it with you guys. Maybe you're not a Blender users either, or you just use Arduino or um, all other stuff, and but I still find it quite interesting. I think a proper 3D program ideally should be able to take real-time data in some sort, even though it's not absolutely interactive or fast, but eventually, you know, it's gonna work out. It should be just work. So with the OSC thing, I have explored. In this one, I actually use the Touch OSC app on the iPhone, and then I'm able to control Blender material cycles. Although the other day I actually found out there is a tool out there called FaceOSC, and with FaceOSC we can actually have we can use a webcam, and then the webcam will track our face. They're using this OpenCV. I think CV stands for computer vision, and with OpenCV the webcam can process the data real fast and then pass the data out there, and then we just need to connect it to a program like Blender. Well, anyway, I got a one setup here. This is a Touch OSC actually. It's from the iPhone. The data comes from the iPhone, and then I'm actually scrubbing on the screen of the iPhone. It's a Touch OSC app. Goes into this Scratch OSC bridge. At this moment, I found the one open source tool that gives me the ability to see the data is this guy, Scratch OSC bridge. Although we need Scratch version 1. This is from 2009, and this guy is from 2004 or something. Luckily, they're still working, and basically what I'm interested in is how the OSC message got passed on from the outside. And this is from my iPhone, and I can see, okay, this is the IP address, my computer Wi-Fi address, and this is the port number 8338, and all this is all the message coming in from the iPhone, from Touch OSC app. But the one at the bottom, there's a found, pose, position, scale, orientation. And there's also gesture, mouth, width, height, eyebrow, left, right, gesture, jaw, nostril. They are actually coming from the FaceOSC app. If you just Google it, you can get to that tool. They say that this is a program to censor, kind of using webcam to track our face data. Actually, why is my internet so slow? It's been like this for a few days. It's kind of like if you know an app called Snapchat, and Snapchat works on using a mobile device camera, the front camera, to kind of look into the outside world, especially your face, and then with a single touch you kind of can map a mask in real time, and then it's a really fun app for that purpose. I kind of want to have that in Blender. So this is FaceOSC at GitHub. There's it comes like as a program, and we can track our face, and then use it's gonna output some data in real time, and with some kind of setup in Blender using FaceOSC, and then the B3D OSC panel from Zephy. This is another add-on or script we need to install in order for everything to work, and also the Python OSC module for Python, and put everything together in Blender, and we're gonna have it working. So that's what I'm gonna do. So probably I don't need this Safari or Firefox. I'm gonna quit Firefox, so it's a little bit faster to do our stuff. Okay, I have this thing. Yeah, I'm gonna use the texture paint in Blender. I think I'm using the Wacom, and I haven't used this for a while. I actually haven't used texture paint much either. I don't know how to erase, but I think we can just switch color using control, holding control is gonna switch between these two, background and foreground. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna close that. Might do some drawing. Okay, blank space, paint. Let's use blue color. Make this better. Okay, this is the Scratch OSE bridge. Let me check real quick. So I don't need Scratch. Scratch actually Scratch OSE bridge is it's kind of like a, yeah, it's a bridge between the outside sensor or applications going into the computer, and then we can see all the message, and then it's gonna pass it into Scratch. However, we don't need Scratch. Actually, yeah, we don't need Scratch. The Touch OSC might not work anymore. Let me check real quick. Oh, actually, it's still working good. With the FaceOSC, actually with the FaceOSC, if I turn it on, it's gonna display the webcam and my face. Maybe I'm not gonna do that yet. Right. Oh yeah, actually this is a note I made earlier. It's actually I started all this research. I always found there's a program called processing, and processing is what is that? Firefox still on. Okay, don't worry about it. Processing is a free software. I think it's from MIT, but now it's developed further by Processing Foundations. It's kind of like Blender, so it's open source and still being developed. And processing is now currently working on more on the website kind of applications. It's with processing you have all these how can I say, like a function tools to be able to draw, and how can I say, processing is dealing with interactions and visual visual output. Interactivity is really the power of processing. If you study processing a little bit, read books about it, and really get into it, with processing it's so easy. It's actually really easy to get a data from output, like a real-time audio, or maybe mouse click, or maybe from a webcam, and then it will process whatever informations, but everything is kind of scripted. Although it's actually worth studying processing, because if you gives you the foundations of basically taking the outside data real time, and then turn it into visual art or interactive kind of setup. That's what I really wish Blender can do, with maybe one day with the Blender game engine that's more maybe procedural using nodes. I don't know yet, but that's a processing. It's a big it's where I always look for inspiration. Okay, so processing of course can talk with the Touch OSE and Face OSE or Kinect. Okay, Blender. The other day in the previous live noding, you might also see me using Blender to control Sonic Pi. That's also, those two are open source. They're more like a audio music generator. So if I'm drawing things, this is why I have this thing going on. So this is how I want everything to work. So Blender, this Blender. This is the external that, like external. This is the outside world, right? And you have a sensor. This can be anything, webcam, smartphone, microphone, audio, maybe Kinect kind of data, you know, point cloud. This is our main program. And the output is going to be visualization. Interactive program. Because Blender is a 3D package, it has advantage over processing, and then since Blender also has things like animation nodes and virtual, maybe it can do much more. Node. Two question mark. Two exclamation mark. We're sorry, Mozilla crashed. Quit Firefox. Okay, where were we up to? Okay, value and remapping. Actually, yeah. So ideally, so I'm gonna switch to a different color. Ideally, Blender or Blender game engine, which is open source, also big. This is the key point here. Should be enabling the sensor data to goes in and then get processed easily. You know, it's just a value goes in or goes out from Blender, and then it's get remapped, and then control anything as you wish, maybe shape keys or bones. Yeah, so I think I've written all the keyword, maybe real time. See, data doesn't need to come as real time, because we know it already with animation nodes. You can grab an audio wave, and then it's gonna sample it into like a bake value, and then it's gonna generate like a oscilloscope. Yeah, it's gonna that's neat with audio, but it's not real time. I really think real time has something different about it. Yeah, real time, blah blah blah. Okay, I think I talked all about it already. Let's actually try the FaceOSC. I'm gonna use the webcam. Let's close this real quick. Put my webcam aside. I think I have everything. Oops. Delete the webcam. Okay. Give me a second. Alright, okay, I'm back. Let's try FaceOSC thing. So there you go, my face being tracked by the webcam. See the scratch. Okay, since looks like since I'm recording while using the webcam, it's slowing things down a lot. But I think we have everything working, like the gesture, mouse, jaw, especially the jaw. I'm gonna just use a single value like jaw to control like a rig. So here you can see the mouth width and the eyebrow left and right. Maybe I can pass it as well. Mouth width and right. So we know the data is coming in. FaceOSC is not always tracking the face perfectly, but it's a good start. So I have the webcam over there, so I just hide it. You don't need to see my face, just the data coming in. So I'm opening, if I'm open my jaw really wide, it's gonna give like the value like 26. If I close my mouth, it's 21, around 21. So that's why we need to remap the data. But first of all, we need to ensure it's working with Blender. So I think I have Vincent head. It's a rig from, it's a Blender Cloud. Yeah, so this is a low version. Yeah, I think it's already simplified. From here, this rig is simplified. It was 2 or 3 and it was really slow. We simplify on as subdivision 0. Every object's gonna have 0 subdivision. And I'm gonna use this rig real quick. Save it as Vincent 2. I think we have all the controller. I'm gonna hide the body. Should be faster. Auto run is a bit below trusted. Okay. We already have some control here. Still not quite familiar with the rig, but I think it's a really good rig. It has this kind of like jaw movement. We can definitely pass the jaw data into this guy, and then maybe what else do we have? There is a mouth, wide and narrow and wide. We can use that. Okay, so let's see. So hopefully this is gonna work. Previously I was gonna just use shape keys from this guy. You know, like blend shape or shape keys in Blender. Right. ANSV to, we don't need all those. Gonna switch to compositing. Give us that. Okay, switch to text editor, new, Control F and Control T give the same thing. So if you install this B3D OSC panel from Zephy, you're gonna get this generic OSC panel. It's gonna grab the data from outside. Oh, actually from the webcam. So I think the jaw is still working. Yeah, hopefully it's still working. 8008. We need to address, this is the address of my Wi-Fi to this computer, 192.168.1.102. 192.168.1.102. The port number is 8338. sometimes, you know, even just getting the value wrong is kind of maybe stuck. You will be surprised by some like how easy some stuff can already be done, and some is really complex. I don't know why, maybe for all kind of reasons, but whenever you have developers that kind of giving you this open up or unlocking the ability to do cool stuff, that's like a really we gotta thankful for that. I gotta switch off the phone. Okay, where we up to? Okay, put in the address, and then the data is gonna be, oops, it's gonna be gesture Joe, all in lowercase. Gesture Joe. Save, just in case it crashes. And we actually need to type in. So for every with OSC, there are gonna be like streams of data coming in with OSE and then OSC, and the message can comes from different path, and we just need to kind of making sure it's piping in properly. And to test it, we can use the value, print value, as simple as that. This Blender, oh, okay, so I have to save this. I didn't open this Blender from the terminal. I should have done that in order to see the data. Terminal, so go to Blender folder, show package contents, Mac OS, run Blender from here, and we have Blender terminal, so we can see the printout. So like I said many times, I'm not a programmer, but slowly learning to program, just the basic, just to get me, just to enable me to do things that I need to do. Sometimes really you don't have the tool. If I have like a programming skill, it's gonna help. So I'm gonna be the bridge. If you don't know the programming, but you can do this, is maybe you can do some cool animation, you know, real time data. Yeah, print value, listening to gesture Joe from FaceOSC goes into Blender. Start listening. Hopefully this works. Already active. So I don't know if this actually works. Can't see my face. I have a feeling that I need to close Scratch OSE bridge. Otherwise Blender's gonna crash. But what if I just use a cube? Alt G. Actually, just use an empty cube. Alt G, and then move the empty using the value. So bpy import bpy data objects cube location z equal value. Save. I probably need to close this, but that's okay because I have the FaceOSC, all this kind of data for reference, so I can close this guy. Slam. Hopefully we start to see something happens. Auto run disabled. Reload trusted. Okay. Key error. Server shutdown. Cancel. And let's try again. Quit. There's a hiccup. Okay, don't worry. Fingers crossed it's gonna work. Setting Blender. Reload it. Maybe before I open the Vincent rig, I'm gonna just do something basic. Let's see if the jaw thing is working. So our cube, compositing, text editor, Control T or Control F, generic OSC panel. Let's bring it up. 192.168.1.102.8338 and full screen. 192.168.192.168. I think this guy is currently 8338 port. Gesture Joe. Gesture Joe. Do gesture Joe. Bring value. Test OSC. Test FaceOSC. And let's start it. Hopefully we start to see something. Okay, the value got printed out. I cannot talk while my jaw is moving. However, you can see a value coming in. I think that for jaw, the value actually between 20 and 26 or 25, but we're gonna remap it anyway. So we know that the jaw, what's happening? Let me explain it again. So currently there's a FaceOSC app running in the background, and my webcam is active and looking into my face, and I'm controlling my jaw. Maybe I can make my mouth smiling or make it more narrow, but I'm gonna do a couple of them, and then we're gonna work it out with animation nodes. So generic OSC panel, so we know the jaw is working great. And so let's control the cube first for now. Cube. Import BPY. So BPY data objects called cube in scene location X equal value or location Z. Now it jumps over there. Okay, that's good. That means there's something going on. So while I'm talking and moving my jaw, we know that it's gonna control the cube. So that's great. That's working. Let's go back to Vincent 2. Vincent 2. Hopefully this works as well. Maybe the port is still working, but I don't know, maybe it's not. PPY data objects called cube location.z value. maybe I need to end this and start again. Fail to evaluate PPY data objects. So location, position. Let me check real quick. Sometimes this get confusing. Import PPY, PPY data objects, cube, location, x equal 10, 5. Cube not found. Oh, that's not cube, that's the empty. Okay. Probably should be working now. We should see the cube jumping real soon. Fail to evaluate. Okay, the cube jumps. Oh, actually that's the empty jumps. Okay, great, all good. Let's hide the console. Everything works. Have more space on that. So data comes in, and data. Let's visualize this in the compositing area. Open animation nodes finally, and we're gonna track our empty. So it's gonna get even slower now. It's because I'm recording, otherwise it's almost like real time. That's okay. Our empty will move up and down in Z based on our sensor. What's I'm gonna do is debug it here. Debug locations. I think I need to have always on. Yeah, I think it should be on, and then I need to remap it to this guy right here to control his jaw. And the jaw controller name is, I'm gonna select this guy and focus on first. Align view selected. So now select his jaw controller. Mouth STR control. Just gonna control the Z. Oops. Vincent mouth STR control. Object transform. Object transform output. Let's create a get Vincent Landry mouth STR control. Wait a minute, I think I should be careful with that. Vincent blend rig. Mouth STR control. I'm afraid that we actually need to use the bone. And we don't have it here. Object attribute output. Let's separate the vector first. Separate this guy. Just grab this Z, plug in there. We're gonna remap it to be between 0 and 1. Gonna show it to you first. Map range. Plug in there. Value in between 20 and 25. Let's see, 21 and 25. Output's gonna be between 0 and 1. So it's working. Here's the thing that's a bit confusing with, so this guy is not an object, it's a bone. Mouth str control. Copy data path. It's bone. Object is Vincent. Blend rig, and attribute not found. Attributes not found. That's not good. Value goes in. Maybe it's a data. Value has a wrong type. Value has a wrong type. Maybe it's needing a vector. Combine vector. Value still have a wrong type. Maybe I need to convert it. Convert value from still doesn't like it. Data bones mouse str control. Maybe location. Attribute not found. Locations maybe position. Location.0. This is bpy.data object. So this is okay. This is the right thing. Good. I found it. I just need to right click and copy the data path. Paste it in here. Value has a wrong type. Are you sure about that? Things in blend rig. And I think this should go to the Z, and we don't need the conversion node anymore. Maybe I lost the FaceOSC being tracking my jaw, but maybe it's still working. Don't know yet. Let's have a look. Okay, so that's the good thing is okay, that's working. Let's plug it to this X and Z and goes in. So the jaw goes in if I use Z up. So I need to actually reverse it. Maybe maximum is -1. So I'm moving my jaw now. -0.5. Opening my jaw. Seems like with Vincent, 0.1 on the jaw is already quite big. Yeah, 0.1 minus 0.1, so it's the original value coming from the FaceOSC going into Vincent. If you still found this to be complicated, it's not. It's actually not complicated, because now we just need we need to get the path to the data. This is how it looks in Blender. It's just referencing this guy's objects, and the objects has this data called pose, bones, locations. That's kind of good. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's do one more with the mouth. I like this mouth controller. It's kind of, so going to the left gives a narrow mouth, going to the right is wider mouth, and that's perfect for what we are doing. The X narrow and X, that's a negative X. Yeah, we just need to map the value into the right attribute. Let's do that real quick. Sorry for the slowness, but this is almost real time if I turn off the recording. For the mouth width and mouth height, let me grab the node panel. Oh, the text editor. Okay, turn off animation nodes calculation for now. Okay, back to normal speed, save. This is in pose mode. I just need to have the text editor. Do gesture jaw, Control T. Generic OSC panel. We have gesture jaw. I'm gonna add more. Gesture jaw, nostril we don't need yet. Mouth width, mouth height. That's perfect for us. The width first. Gesture, mouth width. Copy that real quick. Paste it in here. Plus gesture mouth width. Here we don't actually need to print out the value anymore. So the width is now listening to the message called mouth width, and we have to do the same thing. Create a new, and then do gesture and jaw. It's gonna be mouth width. Do gesture slash mouth slash width. This should work. We need another empty. I'm just gonna call it create empty. I don't know why I cannot do that. Plane axis empty, and this guy is called empty 001. Let's call it empty mouth. Empty mouth. Okay, let's control the empty mouth. Import PPY data objects empty mouth location X equal value. It's gonna be controlling the x value. I'll try print it out. Hopefully it works. Listening on IP 192.168.1.102 port 8338. Check it out. Maybe I need I need to stop this and then start it again. Okay, we're getting a value. So wide is around 18 and then narrow 18 and 12. Okay, 18 and 12. Good. 18 and 12. We don't need to print value. Just say 12 and 18 is the value. I'm doing it like this. There could be a better way. Like in reality, you really can just paste this plug in there, but then you have to do the remapping without using the nodes. It could be faster actually. You don't need animation nodes for this, but I'm just showing it to you because why? Because it's a lot simpler like this. Node, empty mouse, location, blah, blah, blah. What's the name of our controller? Oh, we actually need to go to post mode. Mouse control. Mouse underscore control. It's actually good. Let's give a nice jaw control there actually. The Z. Maybe I should use that. Let's do something a little bit silly. Just ignore the phone. Empty mouth. Separate vector. Gonna track the X of that guy. Remap the value from 12 to 18. Output maybe -1 to 1. Separate vector. I'm just gonna grab the X. X goes in there. Plug. And combine it back. Oh, we don't need to combine it back. So value goes in there. Value wrong type. Okay. Location X. Vincent blend rig. Let's connect this. I think it should be working now. The animation nodes is probably slowing things. Now I wonder if the jaw is still working. Maybe the camera, maybe the FaceOSC is losing the data. Try. Yeah, it should work. Maybe this should be the opposite. 0.5 and minus 0.5. I really like the map range nodes. It's super handy to kind of remapping value. Don't see much of the jaw. Wonder why. Yeah, but I think that should be pretty good explanation. Yeah, I think I should probably tweak the value here and there, and then I'll try to set up more like with the eyebrow and then the nostril, and then the lips up and down, and then blink maybe. Have set everything correctly, and then we might have like a real time motion capture for face. Currently, we're relying on FaceOSC to record the data, to sensor the data in real time, and then we use all kind of Python OSC and stuff. It could be real time. I don't know. Maybe it depends on the computer's power. At the moment, I'm using an old laptop. Anyhow, this is I quite like how this works in the normal Blender environment. I know I should be using BGE, Blender Game Engine. I wish there is a documentation on that. Maybe there is. I haven't found out. If you saw this video and then you want to give comments and give me some more information or how I should do this properly, please do. Yeah, so hopefully you find this video useful. Subscribe to the channel so that I could continue with the next video. I know I don't have many subscribers at the moment, but it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna share all my research, and hopefully it's gonna be useful for you. Okay, I'll see you next time. Thank you again for tuning in.